All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and I have been going over the PowerPoint presentations for Murock's Android Programming 2nd Edition by Joel Murock for the AWD1112 Java Programming class. We are in the middle of Chapter 14 of 18, talking about the task list app. So far, the chapter has presented probably enough of the code that hopefully you have a general idea of how the app works. But now they're going to attempt to fill in the gaps. So the chapter first will review the user interface for the app, which was presented at the beginning of Chapter 13. So that's what you see on your screen here. When the app starts, remember the task list activity displays a list of tasks where each task has a checkbox, as you can see right there, that indicates whether it's been completed, it's the name of the task, and any optional notes. In addition, the task list activity provides tabs for two lists, a personal and a business. To display lists, the user can click on the tabs that are available from this. In the example that's shown here, the personal tab is selected, so the tasks for that tab are the ones that are displayed. From the task list activity, you can mark a task as completed by selecting the associated checkbox. You can remove all the tasks that have been marked as completed by clicking on the Delete Tasks icon, which is that trash can icon that you see up here. Older versions of Android don't provide for a taskbar, so for older devices, the user can display the Options menu and select the Delete Tasks item. Again, that's an issue if you decide that you're going to support much older versions of the Android API. You can also select the plus sign on here to add a task. And again, that'll also be available on older versions by displaying the Options menu and selecting Add Task. When this comes up, there'll be a spinner here, as you can see right there, to select the list. Then you can use the editable text views to add or edit text for the task. All right. Now, in Figure 14.9 on pages 454 and 455, they show the code that defines the menu for the task list activity. The code shows two menu items, okay? The add task item and a delete item. Both of these items display icons in the taskbar if there's enough room. So, the complete code is shown. It takes up Figure 14.10, which is pages 456, 457. Part 1 of this code that you see right here works like the class we talked about much earlier in the chapter. First, the on items selected that method will check which menu item was selected. If the add task item was selected, then we create an intent for the add edit entry. The next statement will store the current tab, and the third statement will use an intent to start the add edit activity. If delete was selected, the code hides all the tasks that have been marked as complete. After updating the database, the code refreshes the task list then accordingly. All right. Right in here. Figure 14.11, which you see on your screen, and is also shown in your book in Figure 14.11 on pages 458 and 459, begins by showing the layout for the add list activity, which allows the user again to use that spinner to select the name of the list. Then you can use the two editable text views to edit the name and the notes of the task. Since this layout uses a custom layout for the spinner, the figure also shows the spinner, which is in here. Figure 1411 also shows the associated code that defines the menus for the add edit activity. It displays two items, the save item and the cancel item. Both of these menu items display icons on the taskbar if there's enough room. Otherwise, they display text in the options menu. All right, and finally, in figure 1412 on pages 461, 462, and 463, we have the code for the add edit activity class. This code creates a task list DB object. Then it uses the database object to get an array of lists that are used as the data source for the adapter of the spinner. The next part of the code gets the edit mode from the intent. Now, I'm reading through this and I'm thinking to myself, I have a hard enough time understanding it, but hopefully we're going to be able to go through this slowly enough that it'll make some sense to you. Because the idea behind this chapter is to get you started with the use of tabs and custom adapters. The author even mentions in the summary on page 464, this is a complicated subject. And to be honest with you, all right, it's not a complete description. There's always more. As always, you can always go out to developer.android.com to get more information. In chapter 15, which is next, we'll learn how to make the data that we've been working with in this database available to other apps, and also how to work with other system databases that are available to this app. So that'll be working with content providers, and we will come back and go over that information in chapter 15 shortly.